What is going on, everybody? This is Daniel with CrawlMannRC. I hope you guys are having yourselves a wonderful day. Today's video is really just a test to see how my gimbal is working, because at this point I needed to start using something that would help me, do one-handed control but also keep in frame, because to be honest, my framing kind of sucks sometimes. Go ahead and comment below if you agree with me, or if you don't agree with me, well, go ahead and comment as well. Have you ever seen a backflip? Wow! Boing! Anyway, so what I got is the Hohem iSteady M7, and it has some AI tracking features that I was really interested in. I'm not sure how it's going to go exactly, but basically we're gonna see how the recording goes today. I think it turned out pretty well, but you guys go ahead and let me know in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, we just did a Proline by the Fire 2025 video, and man, let me tell you, that was the coolest thing I've done in a really long time. So I really hope to be able to go out next year, maybe meet some more people, collaborate. But overall, that was a phenomenal event put on by Proline and a bunch of vendors, man. I mean, I couldn't even say good enough things about them. I met some really awesome people and only one asshole. So, that happens sometimes, but sometimes people are stressed. They're in event mode and they don't have the time of day. So, shit happens. I don't hold them against it too bad. Check this out though. The gimbal so far, man, is just holding frame perfect so far. I mean, look at this, dude. It's even when I'm going behind a rock like that, you see that? It's keeping it all centered up, and I'm loving it. I got the MiTrick RC lights, the whip there, as well as the underbelly glow, and man, it came out perfect. Like, watch this here. It just looks so beautiful. I think I flip here. Oh, damn, Daniel. Back at it again, rolling. Yeah, that's just how I roll sometimes. Anyway, what's everybody up to? I don't get a lot of comments in my videos, and it's probably because I have trash content. But overall, what's everybody up to? What's everybody building right now? I think I'm about to start my next build, which is going to be a comp build. I was thinking about doing a 6 scale, but then I switched my tone on that and was like, you know what? I think I'm going to do a 10th scale comp rig for my next thing, because I love this Optic, trail buggy, and I pull off comp lines all the time on it. But I think I'm about ready to really build something, and I haven't decided if I'm going to get a prefab something, or I was even honestly thinking, and I know this might be a little bit extreme, and some of you guys are going to go, no, Daniel, you're still too new to the sport, but I've done a lot of building and engineering, and I do IT for a living and things like that. I work on cars. I obviously do RC stuff. I've been doing it since I was a little kid, and I was kind of thinking, why don't I just build my own chassis? Obviously, everybody builds things differently, and they have different reasons why they do things different ways. And I've seen, hundreds of these 4x4 crawlers running at this point, and I kind of think I know what I want to build for my first design. And I know that might be, sort of extreme, but wouldn't that be kind of cool? What do you guys think? Let me know. I'm not going to give you the details of what I'm thinking yet, but I'm thinking of really designing a completely new chassis that hasn't been done before. It would be rail-based like other people's, but I'm thinking of adding a completely different twist to it. And I literally mean twist, if that makes any sense, because there's just some things to pay attention to and to know when you're crawling. And I've been thinking about a concept that I'm not sure how it's going to go, but I think I'm going to give it a shot. Anyway, check this out though, guys. Like, the framing on this thing seems to be beautiful. The ending of that video, I could have cut it probably a little bit shorter, but hey, I already did a ton of editing. This was originally over an hour and 10 minutes, and I've got it down to 18 minutes and 33 seconds. So I took a ton of video. I'm taking advice from a video editor as well that knows a lot more than me, who's given me a couple tips on ways to shoot certain things. And so I think one layer of that is going to be having something that I'm able to frame properly with. And there's many other things I have to do there still. But overall, this gimbal, man, is just beautiful. So again, this is the Hohem iSteady M7. They're not a sponsor or anything like that. I just needed a good gimbal. I did a lot of research. You know, I was looking at the Insta360, the DJI, a couple other ones, because now I'm basically recording with my iPhone 17 Pro Max. I have my GoPro Hero 13 Black, but oh, look at this, it's cool. I still made it. Anyway, I have, you know, the GoPro, which I'm thinking of modifying in a different way, or I might sell it and get an Insta360. I don't know. My next big video thing that I want now that I have this gimbal knocked out, though, is I really want to throw an iron quad in one of my rigs. Whether that's my Optic or Phoenix or something else that I get in the future. It definitely won't be my comp rig. And I know that iron quad has a great setup for the Optic, but yeah, I'm still kind of deciding. I'm pretty much complete on this build at this point, and you know, I have, you know, literally I think everything that I want done. So let's talk about that for a second, because I know some of you guys like hearing specs. Some of you have seen some of my build videos. If you haven't, I have tons of optic upgrade videos, including one of my favorite that I've got most comments on and most feedback from, which is my Hobbywing Fusion Pro upgrade that I threw in the Optic. And actually, as a matter of fact, watch the video for a second, because this is going to be a tribute to that motor and all my other electronics. Right here, I'm doing a common line that I do, but there's a water pit to my right, and if you hit it wrong, you end up in that water pit. Well, you better bet I went a little too KOH for this spot right here. I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to, you know, I was actually looking at the gimbal at that exact moment, making sure I didn't hit it, as you see. And I went submarine mode, dude. I just dropped right into the water, man. Full-blown sunk shit all over the car. Let me tell you, dude. Look at this thing. Look at all this freaking water. Oh my God. So there's going to be a great promotion, because my rig continued to run the rest of the day. I had no issues with any of my hardware, which is great. I did have some whip issues, but that was more of me just hammering it over and over and over and over and over and over, flipping the vehicle over and over and over, which you don't see in this video, of course, because as Mike Carter says, I edit all that out, which I'm not saying that's true. I'm not saying that's false either. I'm not saying Mike's a liar by any means, but I'm just saying I don't see video to justify those comments that have been made. But that may or may not be because I delete them, but who knows. Anyway, so a testament to some of this hardware, since I just went submarine mode. Let's talk about the Optic. I originally bought this Optic H10 stock RTR. I ran it for a couple weeks, basically stock, before I threw some upgrades into it. I'm not going to get all these upgrades in order, but I will talk about each and every one of them. One of the first things I did, like I said, is upgraded to the Hobbywing Fusion Pro. And what I love about it is, as you see, I've submarine moded it a couple times, and that motor has been stable. I haven't had a single issue with that brushless system. Next is my Three Brothers RC G13 Pro steering servo, man. That thing, it has an aluminum housing. It looks beautiful. It's black and silver, and dude, it is freaking epic, man. I love the hell out of that thing. Moving next, we have some SSD wheels and some J-Concept rupture tires. Which, by the way, in this video, you may or may not be able to tell, my rear tires on those ruptures are slit in about 8 different places on the rear, on both sides in the exact same spot. Basically, what happened is, I was pinching between a rock, and I must have gunned it at some point. I don't even know when it actually happened. I just caught it one day, but sometimes that gives you a little extra grip when you're getting up a crack like this. Let's see if I can line up. Oh, that's right, my back tire falls in. To back up like a noob, and then I go, you know what? Let's YOLO a little higher up, keep that rear end on, and then get all the way up to the top. Anyway, so I got those tires, those rims. I also have the Vanquish hubs on the front, but not the rear. So my front end is a little bit wider on this thing, guys, just so that you're aware. We talked about me having the RTR, right? So let's talk about some things that have happened with that RTR and reasons that I would have got a kit build if I had a choice moving forward. So, let's start with this. I stripped the gears. I stripped the gears front and rear. The RTR gears are not the hardened machine gears. They are metal and everything, of course, which I said they weren't in another video, which is hilarious. My bad. But anyway, the RTR gears got stripped. I stripped them about a month apart, and could I have been easy and not stripped them? Sure. The way I run it, though, you'll see in many of my videos, that was just not going to be the case. So I got the hardened ones. I do not have any overdrive currently, although I've seen a lot of guys with their overdrive in theirs. People like Clint Green, people like Mike Carter, people like Jeremy and Chad, and those guys, they have some pretty cool setup on it with their overdrive. I do not. I'm a noob. Just kidding. Anyway, next, I have third members replaced with the aluminum third members, front and rear. What I love about that, man, let me tell you something. If you do not have the aluminum third member for your rear axle bare minimum, you are messing up, okay? And here, let me tell you why. My rear axle is still stock, okay, with the exception of the third member that's bolted to it, and then the incision drive shafts, which are the metal drive lines, right? And the gears that are inside of there, okay? The actual shafts themselves are all, you know, the stock ones. I have had to replace them, though, because I broken the pins for the actual shafts that go through the axle housing as well, which is just because I'm driving hard. Let's get back to the video for 1 second, because look at this fucking line, boys. Look at this, dude. And talk about a gimbal that is keeping in frame so beautifully, man. I mean, this is majestic. Oh, watch this. It's funny. Damn, Daniel, back at it again with them rolls, huh? Yeah, that's what I do sometimes, unfortunately. Anyway, let's keep going. I have the high clearance links, or the high clearance links in the rear. I forget exactly what brand they are. I think they might be Incision, maybe, but I can't remember. Anyway, did you guys see the AI right there, by the way? For some reason, it was just staying on my freaking crotch, dude. I don't know what the AI is thinking about, but I think I know what it's thinking about, and it's not okay. Gimbal, I need you to stay focused on the car. That's what we're out here for, okay? We ain't filming for Pornhub today, buddy. Alright, next. I threw some FTRC whips on this thing before with some lights and things like that, but ultimately I switched those out with the MyTrick RC ones. The reason I like the MyTrick RC one specifically is I got it at Proline, and I love how it bends, how it has a little bendy piece. If the FTRC ones offers the same thing, I'd get those too. As I did save my old lights, of course. As well as the underglow. It just seems like these ones are a little bit nicer and they are holding up a little bit better. The adhesive could use a little bit of work, MyTrick, but other than that, that's just honestly mount location and dirt getting spun up and water getting spun up and all these different things that are causing that adhesive to break off. You know, I do ridiculous lines and sometimes I fall, and that's going to damage that. But I will say overall, the flat portions of that adhesive are holding excellent. I just need a better mounting location or a shorter one for the optic. I also, on top of the whip and the underglow on this, for the MyTrick RC, I have the headlights. Look at those things. They're beautiful, man. At nighttime, if you see my Proline by the Fire video where you can see the night runs that I was doing, the lights are bright AF, as the youngins say. All right. It's also nice too because I ended up going out last night just because I was sick. And I was getting a little bit of craving for RCing, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do a tiny bit. So I did a little bit last night, and then I was like, you know, I'm just going to go out in the morning and have a good time. Now that I'm feeling a little bit better. Anyway, long story short from there, we also have some factory team shots there, the 90 mils. So they look beautiful. I love them a lot. They're great. They don't leak. That is the biggest thing. My stock ones leaked. They were excellent. They did their job very well. But I didn't care for the leakage. Next thing, I have the, as you can see up on the front end, I have all the little pieces of metal in the front end. So I have the Treel knuckles up front, but then I also have the steering links, the H10 Hydro Steer links that are actually stainless like that, or metal, whatever they actually are. And then I have the little covers for the Hydro in the center. I have little accents there as well. Next thing, I'm sure you guys see, this is kind of an expensive endeavor because it was my very first one doing this. But I have a custom wrap on my optic. It's got my CrawlMann colors and all that good stuff. I'm sure you guys have seen that in many of my videos. I love it. I threw some new stickers on for Proline by the Fire, as mine were getting pretty dang worn as I beat the heck out of this thing, as you guys know. Oh yeah, let's not forget the accent. That whip also, the little flag on there, that does not come stock. You have to add that in order for it to be on there. So I did also get that from them as well at MyTrickRC at Proline by the Fire. I have the Curry aluminum front axle as well. That thing is beautiful. Again, get the aluminum third member for the rear. And also I have those high clearance links in the rear that I mentioned. I also threw the metal rod ends on that as well. And what I've noticed is if you do the metal rod ends, like really pay attention to this, if on the rear you keep the stock axle, right, just throw the aluminum third member, the metal drive lines, right, for incision or whichever one you have or prefer, and then the rod ends, metal instead of plastic, and then that third member. And let me tell you, if I showed you an under picture of my rear axle right now, you'd be like, that thing should be destroyed, but because I have metal accents on all those little pieces, it prevents it from getting beat up on the rear end. And the beautiful thing is, as you see, I'm taking some braided line out here that was built up on the rear. Basically, there's braided fishing line. And ultimately, I accidentally pressed the button, guys. Oh, damn, I almost went into the video on accident. Anyway, that rear axle is almost perfect because of the metal right there, basically. And then as you also can see on the back, I don't have the fuel cell. Now, not only do I not have the fuel cell, right, there's something else very major that's missing in this video, guys. Yeah, I cut off the rear end finally, right? So you can see those factory team gold and black shocks on the rear end. You can see the accent fill hole on the rear differential. You can see those high clearance links and all the linkages attached to the axle. Man, it is freaking cool looking, in my opinion. I mean, you do you, boo-boo, but let me tell you something. That is one beautiful view if I've ever seen one. Anyway, guys, we are about 17.5 minutes into this video. Check this out. If you don't have a trail bag, get a trail bag. I got my Bash Maps bag from a raffle over at Proline by the Fire. If you get the opportunity, grab one of those. Also, I have a Bash Map group in Keysville. Look up Lake Isabella, California. Look up Keysville directly to the southwest of the lake, basically directly under the dam, and you'll see my Bash Map team. We are the Rock Crawlers. I run with Kern River Crawlers in Facebook group. And if you want to get a hold of me, you know, definitely check out my Instagram if you get an opportunity. CrawlMannRC. I have a TikTok. I got all the things, guys. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day.